Hey guys, World Champion Ben Groen here, down here at the World Barefoot Center, and today we're going to talk about setting up a super fly high tower extension on your ski boat at home. Okay, so once you get your super fly high tower extension, you're going to have a few different parts here coming with you. Of course, the big obvious one is the fly high itself. You're also going to have a couple of these feet you see down in front. These attached to the tower. You're going to have a front bow loading strap which goes around the front of your boat, connecting the fly high to the nose. Our long cable here, which is going from the fly high down to the nose of the boat. And our short cable here as well, which is going from the fly high to our secondary point on our tower. So these are all the parts inside the box. What we're going to get to first is attaching our feet to the tower. Okay, so you're going to put one side of the clamp on each side of the tower here. We're just going to gently thread these bolts into the holes. Once that first one's in, you just want it nice and finger tight using the long end of your Allen wrench. We're going to go diagonally to the other side, making sure we cinch this down fairly evenly so we don't bind any of these screws together. Once 1 and 2 are across, we're going to do the same thing with 3 and 4. And once we put them in there, we want them just nice and finger tight where you can still wiggle this foot around a little bit. As you can see here, we can slide it side to side and adjust it, meaning we can do any fine tuning now that it's locked on. Once you're happy with your spot, you're going to lock the rest of these down. You're going to wrench them down pretty hand snug here. And once they're all tight, we're ready to move on to the other one. Alright, so with our fly high just slightly wider than our ball joints, I'm going to pick it up, slip it onto the ball joints, and then we're going to just screw it shut a little bit, and it's going to lock it into place. So you're going to pick it up, slide it onto your 2 feet like this, and as it goes in there, I'm just going to hold back here, and I'm going to tighten down with this front piece. Now as I rotate this and I tighten down, what we're doing is we're squeezing those ball joints together, and that's going to hold this in place nice and securely for our next installation of these feet. So now that I'm pretty nice and tight, I feel confident about letting this thing go, and it's not going to fall anywhere. This is where extra hands come in handy, but like I said, if you don't have them, this is a one-person job still. So now those feet are on the ball joints, we're going to attach the second part of the foot to the ball joint down here. I'm going to put this on, and we're just going to get both bolts screwed in there to begin with, and then we will strap it down nice and tight. Alright, just like that, both feet are attached, making this nice and secure. Now at this point, if you do want to take a quick test, you can push this up and down, making sure that it moves fairly freely, but with a little bit of resistance. That's going to help, again, keep things safe. That will drop on its own, but it drops nice and slow. Love it. So now that our fly high is securely attached with the feet, we're moving on to putting on our cable. I highly recommend putting on the back shorter cable first. It's a lot easier to get in the correct location, and it makes setting up by yourself a lot easier as well. What we can do here is setting up this back cable. Once I attach it, what I'm going for here, once the latch is in the closed position, I want that load strap here to be right about in line with the foot of my fly high. So that's a hard measure you can do before installing this on this cable, and that's going to give us the right amount of length to get this fly high on the angle we want it to be on. So once we know it's in the right place, I'm going to pop open this latch. We're going to take off our strap here and put it on the boat where we want, and then bring it in close. Depending on your tower, you want to try to get that strap somewhere where it's not going to slide left or right or back or forward. Fortunately for us, right between our Dowler-on swivel here and our cross member is a nice place for that strap to sit where it really can't wiggle around too much, which is perfect. Now that our back strap's on, we're going to keep it unlatched for the time being, and we're going to get to work on the front strap. Alright, now that our short back strap is connected and set up, we're going to work on our front strap, the long cable here. Now I've gone and attached it to the front here. I'm going to go and put my bow strap onto the nose of the boat, and then we're going to fold it up and connect it and make sure our cable is the right length. This is another step in the process where a second set of hands can come in handy. But at this point here, we're going to fold this up. I'm going to push it all the way where you can see it comes overly far forward and the strap is still open. That's going to stop this from falling back as we operate it with just one person. Now that it's attached, I'm going to climb onto the front. We're going to hook it up and pull it nice and tight. Once that's connected, as you can see, I'll shut this. It's very slack right now. That's because that back strap is still undone. So now that we're secure on the front and we're locked in, I'm going to leave my front strap open. We're going to rest this here. I'm going to come back to the back and lock this back strap down. So once this back strap here gets locked in, we're going to pull back on it and lock it in place. I'm going to put my pin through. As you can see, we're looking pretty nice and strapping down right now. So with that back pin in place, we go back to the front, and now all I'm going to do is snap this one shut as well, and insert my pin in the front here. Something helpful to do is just attach a cable tie, zip tie, to your clasp, and then around the pin. That's going to stop the pin from, getting dropped, bouncing off the front of the boat, going to the bottom of the lake, which happens far too often. So that's it. Super easy to do with two people, and it's really pretty easy to do just with one person as well, as you saw today. You're just going to make sure that you take all the steps to set up before moving on to the next piece. Size up your fly high, make sure that it's the same width as your feet before you go to move it on there. Size up your back cable here before attaching it to the fly high and attach the fly to the tower. It's going to make your life a lot easier. And then all we've got to deal with is our front strap here. Usually those cables will need a little bit of adjusting, but once this one is strapped on like you saw today, it's really easy to go and pull those back cables, get everything strapped in and tight. Now, our fly is on our tower, we're locked and loaded, it's time to have some fun.